Hello, today I'll be offering a refutation of the argument posed by this image. Before we delve into what this image is trying to argue, here's a little background. The National Football League is the most popular sports league in the United States, with over 100 million people tuning in each year to watch the championship game, the Super Bowl. The league consists of 32 teams scattered across the country, each with their own devout and passionate fan bases. Only one of these calls themselves America's team, however, the Dallas Cowboys. The argument this visual is trying to make is pretty evident upon closer inspection. The Dallas Cowboys are indeed America's team. This image is used in an article by Dave Halperin on SB Nation, a sports blogging website, to support his article's overall thesis that the Cowboys are still America's team, implying that they always have been. By overlaying the Cowboys logo over an image of the continental United States, and then have it wrapped in an image of an American flag, the image represents this argument very nicely. Halperin is attempting to convince his audience of sports fans that the Cowboys remain America's team. I picked this argument because it's a very striking image in a subject matter that I have great interest in. Here we have the argument map for Halperin's image. For starters, we have Halperin's claim that the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. He backs that up with his reason that the Cowboys possess the most fans in the country, not just in Texas. To support this reason, Halperin covers the ideas of providing statistics that show the Cowboys have the most fans in the country, as represented by the Dallas Cowboys logo being overlaid on top of the entire United States, not just Texas. He points to the number of Cowboys fans that appear at other teams' home stadiums, and then also that the Cowboys have the highest TV ratings in the NFL. These are all used to support his reason. The warrant that Halperin is trying to convince us of with this image is that the audience has to accept that by having the most fans in the country, they're America's team. This is very much a substantive warrant. And to back up this warrant, he engages in that it is only logical that the team with the most fans should hold the title of America's team. Thanks to this tireless self-branding and promotion of the Cowboys, many people assume that the Cowboys are indeed America's team. However, I disagree with the notion held by Halperin and many other Cowboys fans that they are America's team, because as research in the last decade has shown, not only are the Cowboys not always America's favorite team, they are America's most disliked team. Because of this, the two reasons I will be using to identify why this visual argument is wrong is that the Cowboys are not consistently America's favorite team, and are actually the most disliked team, and that it's wrong to declare any one team as America's team, because there is no standard definition, and the moniker America's team spawned from a marketing ploy. The first reason the visual gives that they are America's team is that they have the most fans across the country, as symbolized by the Dallas Cowboy logo overlaid over the American flag. However, as data from the last decade has shown, that's not entirely true. According to polls conducted by Public Policy Polling and the Harris Poll in the last decade, the Cowboys aren't always America's favorite team. The Public Policy Poll in particular, which was cited by the NFL in an article about America's favorite team, found that not only were the Green Bay Packers America's favorite team by nearly double the amount of respondents that answered with the Cowboys, they found the Cowboys were America's most disliked team by a wide margin. The reason why my argument is better than the one the Cowboys fans love to make is that often Cowboys arguments is based off of statistics like TV ratings, where the Cowboys consistently rank as the best draw in the NFL. This data points to there being just as many, if not more, NFL fans that watch Cowboys games hoping they'll lose as there are those who root for them. This visual is relying on optics and data that don't actually indicate how America actually feels about the Cowboys. The shared warrant Cowboys fans want us to accept is that by having the most fans in the country, as evidenced by their high TV ratings, this means that they're the most popular team and thus America's team. But the polling data conducted tells a different story. Let's move on to my second main reason why the argument this visual is making is incorrect. As it stands, there's no way to subjectively define what makes a football team America's team. This is an argument of definition being made by this image without a single agreed upon way to determine who is America's team, and the name itself actually comes from a marketing ploy. According to an article from Bleacher Report, a well-respected online publication for sports news, the nickname of America's team actually comes from a 1978 highlight video put together by the NFL. The Cowboys took the idea for this nickname and ran with it, essentially labeling themselves as America's team from that day forward. The moniker of America's team is an invention of the Cowboys themselves, and as such, there haven't been any real criteria defined to say who America's team is. Is it the team with the most fans, as this image argues? Is it the team that best represents American art values? There is no one definitive way to determine who America's team is. Because of this, the Cowboys' argument that they are America's team rings hollow. My warrant that there is no one singular agreed upon way to define America's team is solid, because the moniker of America's team is a creation of the Cowboys themselves, and as such, an argumentative definition like this has no real merit. To call yourself America's team with such circumstances behind the name just rings as a cheap marketing ploy to boost the image of a team that is not as popular as it believes itself to be. In conclusion, my argument states the Dallas Cowboys are not America's team because they are actually America's most disliked team and as such can't be considered America's team. In addition, the lack of a single definition of America's team, as well as the fact that the Cowboys themselves labeled themselves as America's team, leads to the Cowboys' claim to the title feeling hollow and empty. Although the Cowboys calling themselves America's team may seem of concern to only a small group of sports fans, it should be in fact concern anyone who cares about the image of our nation. Sports is laced directly into the DNA of our nation. It represents America to a larger portion of the world. By calling oneself America's team, the Cowboys are positioning themselves as a representation of America, when as shown by my reasons listed above, they don't actually serve as America's team. Rather, they are just another American sports franchise with a passionate fan base.